I did a video on this back in March. So this was just posted yesterday on the 4th of July. Elon Musk postulates that cat poop brain parasite is the true arbitrator of our destiny. Now, if you remember my old video, it talks about Toxoplasmosis and its connection to mkultra, as well as insanity and suicide programming. So let's read this article. Elon Musk often takes to Twitter to share his many thoughts on a variety of topics, and we must admit we love hearing his takes. This latest tidbit from the CEO, billionaire, and entrepreneur caught us by surprise, though. Musk took to Twitter to share the following. Toxoplasmosis infects rats and cats, then humans who make cat videos. AI trains superhuman intelligence training on internet cat videos, thus making toxoplasmosis the true arbiter of our destiny. I can't even read it because it's just so irritatingly obvious, the games that they're playing. Toxoplasmosis infects rats, then cats, then humans who make cat videos. Funny, very funny. The tweet was in response to a National Geographic post that mentioned that scientists found new hyena cubs infected with toxoplasmosis are more likely to approach and get killed by lions than their uninfected peers. The question now becomes, could there be some truth to Musk's theory? We have written about toxoplasmosis before, and here are the basics. An estimated 40 to 60 million people in the U.S. alone, and more than 2 billion people worldwide are believed to be infected by this brain parasite. The parasite, Toxoplasma gondii, is usually transmitted through raw meat containing Tgondii cysts or water-containing oocysts from feline feces, aka cat poop. In animals, the brain parasite induces reckless behavior, such as irrational lack of fear for their predators. Symptoms also include fatigue, vision problems, seizures, balance issues, diarrhea, loss of appetite, fever, ear twitching, and general behavioral changes. But what are its effects on humans? According to a study published in Science Direct, humans infected with toxoplasmosis were more likely to be in car crashes. The study attributed this result to extended reaction times. But it wasn't due to a recklessness on their part. Essentially, what the research found was that the parasite likely slowed people's reaction time down. So can we argue that some parasite is causing humans to create artificial intelligence? We believe it to be highly unlikely. Interesting article. So anyway, toxoplasmosis is connected to mkultra sex beta programming. It's connected to suicide programming, and it's been used for a very long time. Don't let these people fool you. Nothing new under the sun. Funny that my toxoplasmosis video is under Wu-Tang. Because as you know, with Martin Shkreli, he was the one who actually holds some medication patents. And guess what? Toxoplasmosis and the medication for it is attached to it as well. So I'll just touch on a few points of this video for those who haven't seen it, but I'm not going to play the whole thing, but you're more than welcome to look at it. Some fun facts today. Did you know that the most expensive record of all time belonged to the Wu-Tang Clan? It actually surpassed the Beatles. Can you believe it? Once Upon a Time in Shaolin, actually sold in 2015 to Turing Pharmaceuticals owner Martin Shkreli. That's how you say his name, I think. Most expensive album. Interesting. Let's talk about it. And right there you see it. Turing Pharmaceuticals marketed 2 products, Daraprim for Toxoplasmosis and this other one. So interesting, isn't it? Interesting. So Daraprim is used with leucovorin to treat parasite disease. Like I was saying, Toxoplasmosis, which comes from cats, which they say can actually be cured with walnut shells. So sure, go ahead and spend this money on this expensive medication that he's like raised the price of by a bazillion, dollars. I was about to say degrees. Same thing. It's also used in conjunction with dapsone, which is a second-line option to prevent a type of pneumonia with people with HIV and AIDS. So it's interesting what this man has control over. I encourage you guys to do your research, take control of your own health, take control of your own mind, do your research. In these end days, you do not want to be caught unaware, because I'm sorry to tell you, we're living in the book of Revelations, and you don't want to be left behind.
Toxoplasma gondii is a protozoan parasite, and as a parasite, its goal is to reproduce and affect more and more hosts. The only place in the entire world that Toxoplasma can find a mate and sexually reproduce is in the gut of a feline, like a tiger, a lion, or more commonly, a cat.
Have you heard about this parasite that can control your brain? Yeah, sounds totally crazy. It does, doesn't it? Anyway, I gotta go. Catch you later. Take care.
Particularly the brain. And this is where it gets even crazier. Toxoplasma has the ability to rewire the brain and turn fear into desire. The parasite forms cysts, focusing most densely on the amygdala and anxiety. So rodents, whose instinctual behavior is to avoid the scent of cats, aka avoid being eaten, now become sexually attracted to the smell of cat urine. The rodents are then more likely to be eaten by a cat, allowing the parasite to enter the next phase of its life cycle. But the parasite is not only limited to rodents. Toxo has been found in many species and shown to affect their behavior as well. Chimpanzees that are affected have even shown a morbid attraction to leopards. It is estimated that 1 in 3 humans carry Toxoplasma gondii. Once considered strictly latent in the human body, scientists are beginning to question that. Back in prehistoric times, we were prey items of large cats. It is not out of the question that the parasite could induce similar effects in us. Emerging science suggests that Toxoplasma can affect human personality, behavior, and even mental illness. Toxo-infected individuals are shown to be more likely to be involved in car accidents due to reckless driving. Toxo has been linked to an increased likelihood of suicide and neuroticism. Many studies show that people with schizophrenia are more likely to be affected by Toxo. Some science even suggests that behavioral alterations from the parasite at a population scale can influence cultural differences between nations. Toxoplasma can also harmfully affect those with compromised immune systems, which is why bags of kitty litter warn pregnant women to avoid contact, as it can be extremely dangerous to the fetus. Though a typical cat
outside of themselves, and the people in those kind of circles, they do all this degradation and blood drinking and animal eating and sacrifice to allow their body to host more parasites so that they can be a radio antennas for demons. Because there's a lot of evidence, or not evidence, but from what I've read, parasites are like a radio antenna to the demonic entities in counter space or the astral plane or hell, whatever you call it. So the more demon-infested people are, the higher up they go. That way when they get to the full, degrees where they realize that A lot of this stuff is being run by Satan or Lucifer or whatever you want to call it. They're completely mind controlled and programmed through these parasites.